stop and tell her or him to stop and say your points. After that, at last, 1 minute will be given to each one of you for conclusion. So, shall we start now? You all can lower your hands.
Just a minute. Although irrelevant question, but I can see a notification of live on YouTube. So could you please share the link?
Share the link. Yeah, sure. I will share the link in the group. Let's start with the team with benefits, like Khushi Rajput.
Yeah.
Neelam.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So just to clear everything, we need to speak for 2 minutes alone, and then then everyone would have spoken, and then we can tackle, right?
Yeah, and everybody has to keep your camera on, since it is live on YouTube. So.
Okay. So yeah, good evening, everyone, and it's wonderful to see everyone here with such an enthusiastic participation. So we are talking about nationalism being beneficial on globalization. So first of all, I'll say that I am an army aspirant. I want to join the army through the defense service examination that goes on. So for me, nationalism is something that is not just a word, it's a feeling.
Sorry, Khushi, but I think you didn't have like on your camera.
No, my camera is
on here.
Khushi is visible. You can continue.
Yeah.
Khushi, you are visible.
Okay, sorry, my network issue. Sorry.
Okay, so can I start over, please?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, good evening, everyone. As I was saying that I am an army aspirant and I aspire to join the army. So for me, nationalism and patriotism is not just a word, it's a different level of feeling, and it's a feeling of solidarity. It's a feeling to come together. And if we are talking about its benefits on global platform, see everywhere, there's a trend that goes on. You see America is trying to actually rebuild itself by saying that make America great again, and people have come forward. People, nationalist leader like Narendra Modi, our beloved prime minister, is coming forward for the same. So nationalism, more than just being a thing, it's a feeling of solidarity. It's a feeling of one nation. It's a feeling of coming together. Many must say that it's curbing of your own freedom, but I believe that living in a country which is a republic, which is a nationalist, which is something that gives you. So nationalism is something that enables that feeling in yourself. You have your national flower, you have your national bird and everything. That is something that makes us what we are. That is something that we identify as on a national platform, and benefits are just innumerable. We come as solidarity, we come as as a nation in front of everyone. We come as an entity in front of everyone. That feeling of unity can actually curb everything. We Indians are identified as one. Every nation in perspective is identified as one. Definitely there is university, but unity, and one says that unity lies in diversity. We as diverse nation, we as states, where we have so many states, so many languages, something that binds us all is the feeling of nationalism, and something that shows us that India is the feeling of nationalism. So yeah, it is something that's very important for us when we go on a global platform. When we go, there have been schemes such as Make in India. There have been various things that have been launched in the name of India, which is something that's very beneficial for us to be recognized on a global platform, which has enabled us to be what we are today. So definitely the feeling of nationalism is something that's not just a word. It's something that goes above and beyond for everything, and there should be no restriction in that. So yeah, I support being a nationalist, and I support being patriotic for your country, and these two are really important things in everyone's life. As Indians, you should be recognized as that. Thank you.
Okay, so I would like to start on behalf of my team, if I get the permission of the jury.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so first of all, good evening, everyone. Myself, Moris Menezes, and over here we are in the finals of the Footprints War of Words events. And let me start off my points by firstly countering the opponent once. So Ms. Khushi Rajput just now mentioned, and she spoke very nicely, apart from the fact that she missed on a point, that she confused nationalism with patriotism. over here we are talking about nationalism. Nationalism does not mean that, if someone is saying that I support globalization, that does not mean that we disrespect our national anthem, or we disrespect our national animals, or we disrespect the fact that we represent our country on the different international levels. That's not what we are saying. Okay, when we say globalization, all we mean is that if there is a product or if there is a service that is better manufactured or better produced internationally, learn from it, adopt from it. Don't say that go India, go nationalism, and we are the best, we don't need to look what is there outside us. That's not nationalism, that's stupidity at its best. So if you're talking about nationalism, please stick to nationalism. Please don't indulge patriotism with it, because that would kill the heart of the debate. And yeah, that would be my start for this.
Okay, so we'll go again for the Khushi team.
All right, so I would like to
Yes.
continue
Yes,
this.
you can.
So I would firstly like to quote राष्ट्र कवि रामधारी सिंह दिनकर, जो भरा नहीं है भावों से जिसमें बहती रफ्तार नहीं, वह हृदय नहीं वह पत्थर है जिसमें स्वदेश का प्यार नहीं. So although Morris did mention that people might confuse patriotism to nationalism, but what essentially is nationalism is that one loves his or her own country, or his or her own group of people. So the thing is that I would again like to quote another sentence is like charity begins at home. So the thing is that we are today in a globalized world. Everyone is connected. Everyone is helping each other. That's a very good thing. And that's what nation builders wanted us to do. Like Mahatma Gandhi was a nationalist, APJ Abdul Kalam was a nationalist, Swami Vivekananda was a nationalist. Nationalism does not mean that we are against globalization. It is that we are trying to be self-reliant. All right, so we want to be self-dependent. Samarthi kona kono, those signs. Sorry, I'm overusing these phrases. The thing is that if we are not able to help ourselves, if we are not able to achieve wellness in our own country, we would be a liability to the world. We want to become asset to the world and not the other way around. So that is what nationalism is for me. Nationalism is not just about respecting my national anthem or other things, or just like nationalism is not some fringe right winger trying to say things against the Western world. Nationalism is like accepting our culture. Our culture is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We are accepting that. We are nationalists and we want to build a stronger and a greater human world. But for that, we need to make ourselves independent. We need to make ourselves strong. That's what nationalism is for me. And I do not believe that anyone can go against that idea. So I would like to conclude my opening with that.
Okay, I'll be taking it up from team 2. Is everyone is fine with it? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so far the debate has been going on about what one's opinion is about the word nationalism, but what we are debating today over here is the typical nationalism that says that I do not accept anyone else, I do not accept any other concept, I do not believe in any other theory. All I believe in is what I want to do, what I've been taught by my grandfathers, what my ancestors have been giving, and that's what nationalism is. And how it's affecting globalization is we are not ready to accept what others are about to give to us. We cannot say that I'm the only best living person in this world, I have the only best living thing. If someone is doing something good, we can always adapt to it, we can change it, we can have that essence and add our own flavor to it. That's what globalization means. It doesn't mean that someone's better than you. It doesn't mean you are worse than someone. All it means is you are trying to cope up with the world. And for that, you are ready to go through all sorts of ups and downs, whether be it accepting someone else and knowing that, okay, I'm wrong over here, I need to get better at this, or be it knowing that, no, we are better at this thing and we stand by for it. It's mainly about not calling ourselves indifferent from other people that are there across the world. And let me tell you, if we are living in the 21st century, and if I'm saying that I have a right to equality, then I also have a right to equality in every other manner that is there to be supposed. If I'm saying that I want to present my product, let's say, in a certain country, and I want my rights for its trade, the same goes vice versa. Our country too, and our people too, need to be open to new thoughts and new things that are coming to us. And doesn't mean that we need to curb ourselves down. We can always learn, we can always adapt. What we are forgetting, that is why nationalism is going against globalization, because we forget that we are not supposed to have it take our dawn or have it take our chances away. It's basically meant to mingle and go ahead in life. 21st century is all about bringing the world closer. It means it will be breaking your boundaries. It will be breaking your thoughts. We need to be fearless and we need to take a step forward towards it.
Okay, from team 1.
Ameesha.
Okay, hello everyone. Good evening. My name is Ameesha. Okay, so let's bring some fresh perspectives into the debate and not deviate away from our topic. It isn't about what nationalism is or what globalization is or why nationalism is important. So mainly we're talking about why nationalism is beneficial for globalization. So as we have already heard from the rest of my participants from the four team, we all know that self-sufficiency is very important. Now, take a look at different places like Japan. The Japanese people have been fiercely independent and also brought a lot of changes in the society and have become big time players because they have such a stable economy and have always believed in their own traditional values and concepts. Well, I do believe to some extent that yes, you need to bring a lot of new different ideas from the whole world because it is a beautiful globalized community and the presence of internet and different services, really brings everything together. But then when we see different things like at our cores, do we support our nation? Let us look at the toothpaste we use. It's Colgate. These multinational companies have been eating our country from right the beginning and the roots. So just simple things like having to promote our own homegrown products, promoting small communities and ideas. Now one person in the debate also said that we should really bring fresh perspectives from other countries and not just follow our grandparents and parents. So one really important thing is that India has the second largest population in the world. Our education system is much better than various other countries. We have the best engineers in the world. So I really feel that if we promote our own ideas, we have a lot of potential in our own country. So before going to different nations and looking for other ideas, why don't we first give ourselves a chance? Why don't we first ask our own people what ideas they have? There are so many people who have wasted their potentials because so many people like you and me are not willing to move to a new product or not even willing to listen to a new idea from our own homegrown brands or small little economies that have started growing. So also one more thing over here I would like to bring, that when a nation is self-sufficient and powerful, every country wants to be an ally. So it isn't like we are against other nations or we really make rivals by promoting our own cultures and beliefs. Which country has ever promoted their own cultures and beliefs and become a rival to others? In fact, other countries
Yes,
would want to be your ally. And
Amisha.
yeah.
Yes, your
Okay.
time has over. One
Okay, thanks.
participant is live, Rushabh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
I have two anecdotes to share. First of all, as my worthy opponent Neelambuj Roy said a quote, "Ki charity begins with home," and as also Ameesha said, "Ki India is a diverse country." I would like to clarify here that our topic is globalization versus nationalism, not brain drain. More precisely, also on the quote Neelambuj Roy mentioned, "Ki charity begins with home." Let me remind you, ki India hasn't colonized from 90s only. You gave examples of 2 3 national personalities. That was very good, yeah. But India was way before than that. Our culture, our society, our tradition is way more older than that. We have also a quote called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and India was one of the best country who was importing and exporting to other countries in past time. We were known for Sone ki Chiriya. Why? We hadn't any gold mines in India, like that much gold mines now. We haven't the highest number of gold mines, though we were Sone ki Chiriya. Why? Because of trade. We were trading that much. So yeah, I would also request Moris or the three if they want to add anything.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Thank you,
so
Rushabh.
before the sorry.
Yeah, so I would actually like to point out that Mr. Moris Menezes said that it was really stupid
Menezes.
to. Yeah, sorry about the name. Can I call you Morris if it's fine?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, okay. So you said that it was really stupid to entangle nationalism with patriotism. So I believe that everyone is saying we are diverting from the topic. First of all, we need to know what the two entities are. You may not believe me, but you can go and Google. When you find nationalism, I've quoted it here, that identification with one's own nation and support for its interest, especially to exclusion or determination. And patriotism just comes into similar, that similarity is patriotism, nationality, and xenophobia, which mentions that devotion to and vigorous towards one's country. So, when you think about it, both of them actually collide with same thing. And as people said, as Ameesha said, it was a really good point that from toothpaste that we are using to the makeup brand that we have, to various things, we don't have something that actually produced in India. So what's wrong when you are actually keeping your country forward? What's wrong in you say about how economy would develop, how would things develop? Our manufacturing sector still stands at 23%, where other countries like China and various other, they stand at various other things. So how come if we don't promote our own country and don't promote manufacturing in the country, if we don't, and for that promotion you need to eliminate globalization, and you need to produce in India, you need to make in India, and that is what the point is actually about. So Ameesha, you have something to add?
I think.
Can we please take the counter from Team 1 if no one minds?
I know it's your
Team
turn.
1 would like to counter over you.
Before that, I would just like to point out some irregularities in the statements.
Mr. Neelambuj, your team has already.
First of all,
Can Team 1 please counter over here?
I'll just shut in a moment, but there were some irregularities in the statements given. First of all, the
Is
debate
it
is
allowed
not
to
going
speak
about nationalism versus globalization. It is about is nationalism beneficial for globalization. Second, Sone Ki Chiriya was not because of our gold mines, but because we were a huge wheat producing country. So it was not about gold. So please continue.
No, Neelambuj, I think you got confused over there. That's exactly what Rushabh said, that we weren't Sone Ki Chiriya because we had gold mines. We didn't have that. We were Sone Ki Chiriya because our trades were that good and we had that level of an economy. We were ruling the trading in spices and condiments. That's what Rushabh meant. Second, there's one part over here.
Importing is not bad. Taking everything from outside is bad.
I guess.
Now I'll be countering the second point. Okay, you take your time and counter. No worries. I'll put my points first and then you take your counter.
There was also
I guess
one
we need to
point
receive
where,
an equal
can I
point.
please add to this one?
Yeah, your team has already spoken 2 points, so you can add that third
okay,
one
so
later.
Yeah,
now,
Ameesha, just wait and let us counter and then you go ahead with it. It's
Yeah, I
fine,
just
okay?
wanted to add
Sure.
a point, Dhatri, just a second.
add it quickly, Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
quickly
sure,
as
Moris,
Khushi
come on,
can,
go
as
ahead.
quickly as possible. No worries. So, Ms. Khushi loves citing Google. I love citing common sense, and that's what I do. So she gave a whole definition about what nationalism and all stands for. But when you say that our economy is not growing and our manufacturing plants are not doing well and this and that, is your solution to that okay, hey, let's just shut down foreigners so that people would buy more of our local products and that would boost the economy? But isn't that wrong for the people? So if I am a middle class Indian over here and I need a phone and I'm okay to using a good Indian phone unless India provides me a good Indian phone. If not, Vivo is my only option which stands over here. Talking about wit, Neelambuj Roy said that nationalism is about self-reliance. Like you need to become self-reliant. Dude, self-reliance is stupid at its very best. When as mankind we had started out, we were all self-reliant. That's why barter system existed. Like we used to do all things by ourselves, and just for one or two things we used to interchange goods and all. But then we realized we can't be self-reliant. Everyone has their own special points. Division of labor exists for a reason, that self-reliance is not good enough.
Morris, it's not Chris. As
Okay,
Ameesha,
can I
yeah.
add to this now? Can I add
Sure,
my
sure,
point?
sure.
Yeah,
Ameesha,
Ameesha.
go ahead.
Thank you, Morris. Such an amazing point. You said that you will buy only Vivo because if India doesn't have. Okay, do you know how many engineers and so many people in India who are so good and educated are going to foreign countries and not producing in India because of the lack of funds? How
You're very
important it is.
optimistic towards the Indian engineers. I guess you
Please
didn't
let her
know their
continue.
salaries on that.
Later, and you
Please
are
let
actually
her continue.
pondering
Like,
every point, so I think that's
there were
not
very,
common
I
sense
learned
in your own
it
field.
from you, Khushi.
There were various points we wanted to counter.
I think let us let Ameesha and Moris deal with this. We'll get into it later. Moris and Ameesha, all can continue, please.
Yeah,
Okay, so as I said, now I will obviously talk about engineers because who else will design a Vivo phone? I mean, we're talking about phones if you said so. Okay, now another important thing, one person said, they were talking about, colonization. India was colonized for a long time. We had a lot of relations with others. For a long time, India was getting all of its education, all of its ideas, everything was controlled by the colonized nations. So, by the colonizing nations. So, okay, now I would like to add here now, after all of this, what is India doing to gain back its importance in the world? Now, to be able to represent our country globally, we need to be able to match up to the standards of the developed nations and the countries, right? So, you really need to be able to represent yourself. And how will you represent yourself? By, increasing your nationalist values, by increasing your self-sufficiency. And that is how you are going to provide a platform for people of your own country to grow and develop. so that they don't go outside but actually work over here. We have a lot of potential, but everyone's going to the foreign countries to, make their economies stronger. Okay.
There's a reason
Sure.
why they
Amisha, I'll continue over here if you don't mind. Yeah, Amisha, see, I completely
Sure.
agree with you. See, that's what we are saying. If I have a niece or a nephew in the family and that specific child says that I don't want to study, do I promote the kid by saying, okay,
Yeah.
beta mat padho, or do I actually explain to the kid the reasons why he or she should study and, take steps towards the world, get together with the country? Same goes over here. See, globalization is bad when you say, I will not buy Indian products. We are not saying that. What we are saying is, why did we get turned away towards toothpaste? We've been giving that example, right? So why did we go towards it? Because somewhere or the other place, Indian products did not match the level or the quality of life an individual wanted. That's why they got turned towards those products.
That's
Bring
what.
me an Indian
Wait a
product, and
second.
if
That
I
is
say,
what.
bring me an Indian
Wait a second.
product,
Wait
and
a
if I
second.
say
That is
because
what.
it is Indian,
That is what
because the
Amisha
product
is
is
trying
Indian,
to say.
Khushi, I guess you
Exactly. Now,
educated
can you
me a
start
couple of
repeating? Let
minutes
us
back.
not
calm
waste
down,
time.
calm down. Let
Wait.
me complete. Let me complete.
Okay, that's fine.
See, if I say because the product is Indian and because I think that my values are not good, my values are not capable
It isn't
enough, my
about
values
values
are
at
not
all.
so
It
much
is
of a good
totally
thing,
about the best
that's when
product
you
and
can
where
say
to buy it.
globalization is wrong.
Okay,
Exactly.
so
It's about the best product. So if we are bringing globalization, we'll be creating a healthy environment of competition. And if we are not capable of competing, I don't think
A
we'll be
healthy
called Indians.
environment
Okay.
Okay,
has
we are
Okay.
very good
become
at
a
Okay.
big
competition.
Okay.
thing.
We
Such
I
big
always
have a
give
level.
our
point.
best.
Such big
We
Please,
bring
can I
best
speak?
what's
Please,
given
can
to
I
globalization
us.
such a
speak?
big level that
Being
now India
Indians,
has
globalization, if
lost all
anything,
of
is
its
going to
players.
bring us positive effects. And
okay,
There
I
is
nationalism
told
is
nothing
very
okay,
different.
positive in
for a
globalization.
for
That
a
is what.
change.
That is
Maintain
what
the
we are.
decorum of debate.
There is nothing positive
So
about
Let us speak.
Yeah,
globalization.
Rushabh.
no,
I
Rushabh
would
has
like
not
to hear
one
the
spoken.
said
end
that.
of that.
No one said
Rushabh
that.
has not
No one
spoken.
said
So
that. Okay, let me get this. So
No,
for a
Khushi just
change,
said
I
that, so I would
agree.
like to hear the end of it.
No, for a change, I agree with Dhatri what she said. That globalization is not bad, and I do not believe that this topic is about is globalization bad for nationalism. The topic is nationalism good for
And
globalization? And
yeah,
secondly, I would like to like mention the point of 1991 liberalization when the Indian markets were opened up. It was a national, it was in nationalist interest that the Indian economy was suffering, and the foreign companies were allowed to operate in India. One of its objective was to create create competition in
Narasimha
the
Rao
local
government,
market
yes.
to create competition in the local market to better the quality of the our products. The thing is that we are not saying that like globalization is bad. Globalization is good and it is essential. It is the reality of today's world. And the thing is that to achieve that we need nationalism. For example, let's take the example of
exactly.
Corona Maitri. If we were not self-reliant, before that I would like to say that I know Morris, humans cannot ever be self-reliant, but that's what we strive to do. If we cannot do something, that doesn't mean we
We need
stop
to
trying to
start
do that.
somewhere.
Striving towards an
And also the
unachievable
thing
And
is
goal
that
that
is
is
something
what
that
we
is
need foundation in our own. We need that is
And
what
in
people are
order
saying,
to
that we
build
need
that
to promote
foundation,
our country. We need to
yeah,
promote making our country. And for that, we need a solid foundation. It's high time that we do that rather than just going the easy way around. If you really want to build your country onto other level, you need to support it. The thing that Amisha was saying, that you're talking about phone, then you'll talk about charger, then you'll talk about headphones, everything, laptop. So for that, you need engineers. So we need to have a proper platform. We need to have a different amount of status that they live here. And for that, we need funding. That is why nationalism is important in today's time. So that just, rather than just exporting everything from outside because it's sustained, because it's easy to, it's not, it is healthy on some point, but to a level where we can actually accept it
it
or
is
not going
okay.
just
So
systematically
above and
unsetting
Khushi,
our
just a
beyond.
Tell
nation.
second,
me over
just a
here,
second.
just let me know over here, that is
People are
nationalism
saying,
going to bring
uh,
funds for us?
Rati,
How is
just a second.
nationalism going to bring funds for us?
Rati,
it
just a
will
second.
promote the
We can
idea.
When
For
you
balance,
example,
when the
exactly, yeah.
people, I
let's
will
take
like
the
to answer
example
this.
of Venezuela.
Okay,
Just a
number
second,
one,
Venezuela,
just a
when
second.
Venezuela
Someone
people,
from
allowed.
your team.
Guys,
can I
wait.
can I
Team two is like team two is continuously speaking without giving chance to team one. Let
But
them
they asked
speak.
a
Don't
question.
contract yourself
Yeah,
point.
but they
No, but
asked a
don't
question.
contract yours.
But they
Yeah,
asked
but
a
don't
question and paused.
okay, but don't contract
But just a
like
second.
contradict your own points.
What
I
we
would
are,
just like to
Did
ask,
not.
just a second. I would just like to ask over here that Khushi, you right now mentioned the entire economics textbook by showing us how the circle of money and life works, by telling us that okay, this would lead to this would lead to this would lead to this, and finally India would become the superpower it's always aiming for. Uh, some things look romantic only in the economics textbooks. When you step out of your house, they no more sound romantic. When you step out of a house to buy a product, You no more think about the entire food chain that, oh, when if I buy an Indian product, then it would help some Indian engineer working in some KPMG in Bangalore. You don't think of that. You think that I, as a middle class Indian person, how do I get the most value for the money that I am paying? You don't romanticize economics when you step out of your
Change
house in
can be
real
bought
life.
at micro levels only. You need
Exactly.
to
And
start
we are not
somewhere.
saying that
You
we need
can't
to promote
suddenly think that
Indians.
you can't suddenly think, oh my God, one day, wow, India has become so amazing. Now I
Not
have
everyone,
sustainability in India. I will buy Indian things.
Yeah.
not everyone wants to become freedom fighters, and that does not make them anti-nationalists.
No
No
one,
one
first of
mentioned
all,
that.
don't
Yeah,
divert from the
Rushabh, you
topic
have
itself.
it.
We are talking
How
about,
is this
yeah,
about
I think
anti-nationalism?
Rushabh, you should speak because
Rushabh,
we
you
have
should
spoken
take
a
this
lot.
point.
I wanted to add, see, Khushi, I want to inform you three things. First of all, it would be great if you maintain the decorum of debate. Second thing, you mentioned कि from toothpaste से लेके brush तक हम अगर सब कुछ इंडिया में manufacture करें तो it will be great. Yeah, I agree. But here globalization doesn't stand for only small goods. Globalization is also applicated on other things. जैसे अगर मैं बात करूं कि India right now we are buying more than 300 hovercrafts from US. हमारे सुखोई और MiG-21 are from Russia. So here you can't say कि हम इंडिया में ही मैन्युफैक्चर करेंगे, इंडिया से ही खरीदेंगे और देशभक्त हम बनेंगे. Nation is always first, as you should. Yeah, I agree. So nation first के लिए nation की सुरक्षा भी important है. So it would be great अगर हम nation के लिए globalize हो. Yeah.
ऋषभ, एक ही चीज आप
It
बिल्कुल सही
Rafael
बोल
as
रहे हो
well.
कि
It
टूथपेस्ट से
isn't
लेके
about
ब्रश तक
believing.
हमें जरूरत नहीं है कि हम सब लाए. मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ. आपने जैसे खुद ही बोला हमारे पास DRDO और इसरो है और वो सब छोड़ के हमारे पास एक डिफेंस रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है और उसको बढ़ावा देने के बावजूद हम जाके मिग रशिया से ले रहे हैं और हम जाके
Exactly.
बड़ी बड़ी
But
तो हम
India
यही
has
चाह रहे
gone
हैं
smart.
DRDO जैसे
अभी
प्लेटफॉर्म को
कुछ
design
रिसर्च
स्टॉप
को
नहीं
वो
हो
करे.
रहा है देश
तो
को.
आप दीजिए ना,
जब
मौका
DRDO
दीजिए.
इसरो
Khushi,
आज नहीं
That will
डिलीवर
be
कर
very
पाएंगे, वो ये
designed.
बात हमें पता है. हम रियलिटी
Khushi
में
and
जीकर
Ameesha, please pause
सिक्योरिटी
for
को
your time.
प्रायोरिटी दे रहे हैं,
Guys,
इसलिए हम बाहर से ला रहे हैं.
Okay, so I
guys,
believe we are
आप,
again deviating from the topic. The thing is that is
yeah.
nationalism promoting globalization? I believe it is. Let's take the example of Corona Mathri. If we were not focusing on research and development, if we were only dependent if the pharmacy of our country has developed many folds in the last decade. If we had not poured in enough efforts, and we would have let's keep on depending on the European nations and everything else. Today, our country would have not been able to help various other countries in this pandemic. So
That
that's
is
the thing.
correct. That is correct. But I would like to just say one thing. That it sounds very cool to romanticize nationalism over a Zoom call. But let's be honest. Once you walk out of this room in which we all are sitting, out of 10, how many products that you use are manufactured, made completely in India?
See, the thing is, it's not about purchasing the products only made in India. It's about bettering our situation or making the quality of our own.
We need to
products
start
better.
in India.
Neelambuj
We need to
nationalism
start in
means
India,
that we
and that
won't
is
be
what we are
accepting
saying.
other products.
Now
No,
you
no,
have
that-
two products
that
of India.
Just a minute,
Next, you can
Ameesha,
start with
just-
4. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Just
if
a minute.
we are
Okay,
not
see, the
getting
thing
a
is,
good Indian alternative for an
okay,
American
just
product, why should we
I'll
go?
just like to counter that. Dati, that doesn't mean nationalism. Japan is known for its nationalistic views, and Japan after World War II,
Nationalism
even
we
though
are
America.
debating over here means that, Neelambuj, is what I was pointing out.
No. You said that nationalism means accepting only our own
Oh
goods.
yeah.
Japan,
Exactly.
even
That's what
after
we're trying to debate. That's what we're debating. That
Just
just
let me
sticking
complete.
to my
Just let
thought
me
that
complete.
I will not take the vaccination. I'll depend on Ayurveda. That's nationalism.
No
Just
one's
let me
saying.
complete my
No
point.
one's saying that.
Just let me complete.
No, I'm saying that, Khushi. I'm not saying you said that.
Yeah.
Japan, even after being bombarded with 2 atom bombs in 1945, sent its various soldiers, various engineers to America to learn their technology.
Yeah.
They accepted that they were superior from that, but their nationalistic views made them strive for betterment. That's the reason why Japan today, as of today, is a very developed country. That's not because they always said that they were not ignorant.
And
Nationalism does not mean ignorant.
if that process of development takes 40 odd years, what about those common citizens and people who lived through that 40 years? Like, do you
Okay,
expect
so
them
can
to
I
stay with
add
those?
my point over here? Can I add a point?
Ask Khushi.
Sure, Ameesha.
That would be last
Moris,
point after
please,
that.
please don't come after me like you're talking about. We'll ask Khushi, ask do that. I'm not able to stop. I'm not some kind of leader. So Ameesha, you may. I'm just speaking my own thoughts.
I learned it from you.
Amisha,
I'm
please
not
go
doing
ahead.
anything.
Okay.
Amisha, go ahead. Amisha, go ahead.
Okay.
Ameesha will speak the last point. After that, we will go for conclusion points. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now what I want to add over here as a conclusive note or as the last note, okay, the most important thing is that let us not only talk about products and small little things, but also understand the fact that we really need to emphasize on education as well as other things. These petty little shortcuts that we have taken. Okay, we'll take a satellite from Russia, or we would the small little choices we make. Everything. It isn't only about products. First they started their education over here. They taught after the British rule, they came over here, their colonies were established, they changed our education system, they have finished all of our people, all of our children now are unemployed. What they are learning is literally about what a labor needs to learn. We don't have any new ideas in our own education system. Nationalism starts also with education. What are we doing to change our education? Is our youth ready today after college to suddenly work or establish a company? They aren't, because our education systems are also lacking behind. Nationalism does not only mean purchasing products or buying your own things. Okay, fine. Maybe it must to some very small extent, and it does bring changes and subtle changes. But then it also talks about education, about military, about trusting our own nation, about supporting our policies, about actively becoming a member of all of those such debates, obviously. So promoting our culture, our rights. So it is really important to get back to our roots, and then not just find petty shortcuts because everything is easier outside. And we need to start somewhere from our nation.
Okay, so now I'll be countering it, and I'll also be making my concluding point. I'll be making it one.
Okay. Make it fast. Okay.
Yeah, sure. What I'm going to say is that I agree with you, Amisha, that we need to also look up to what we are doing right now. But also, let me tell you something, we are taking it one day at a time and we are moving ahead. We have the new education policy and we'll be having masters and wonderful results of it in the future. Let's hope for that. Secondly, what I'm trying to say is that nationalism is not its best, globalization is not its best. What we're trying to do is what we've been taught since ages, कि बेटा जिंदगी में कितने ही आगे बढ़ो, पैर हमेशा जमीन पर रहने चाहिए. Similarly, our hands need to be towards the globalization and our feet needs to be towards our own roots, towards our own nationalism, towards our own thoughts that were given to us. We are very lucky that we took birth in this nation. Let's not forget that fact, but let's promote it while accepting others. Let's make it a vice versa thing, because that's what economy and everything surrounding it is. Thank you so much, everyone.
I would like to put forth my concluding thoughts.
Okay.
Okay, so me myself being a commerce student, having economics as my major subject, I can romanticize with economics terms left, right, center, but that does not make the point. The point is that as a student, let's say tomorrow if I want to learn about digital marketing, and if I am not getting a good Indian tutor who can teach me about digital marketing, I won't wait for the new education policy to revolutionize the entire education system of India and bring about a mammoth of change and just disrupt everything in India. I would simply go on Udemy and learn from a foreign professor, because I'm a common citizen. I am selfish. I think about myself. Does that mean I'm an anti-national? No, that means I'm practical about my own life. I do not romanticize about economics. I do not think that, okay, these are small petty steps which will add up. The crows throw stones in the pot and water comes up. I don't think about that. I think that what is the best possible alternative for me right now in my life as an ordinary citizen. I pick that alternative and I move ahead. When more citizens like me move ahead, we become rich, we become better in our life, and then we contribute that money to our country, to our motherland, which fuels the engineers sitting at KPMG in Bangalore. So to conclude my point, yes, I'm practical. You may call it selfish, but please don't call it like, these guys are not national and something. We support globalization because it is the better alternative. And we won't just say Bharat Mata ki Jai if we have a better alternative out there.
So I would like to conclude my points. First
Okay.
of all, I believe that there has been some aggression towards the various other people, which has been venting out in here. Let's not go there. What nationalism is for me is that we accept that we are lagging, and that's why we strive to better ourselves. And in the meantime, we also make the world a better place. I totally agree. If something is not good in my country, I'll go outside. I'll learn that. I'll get myself in a better position, and that's and the collective growth of my people will be ensured. And that is what nationalism is. Like, we are separating nationalism with globalization. That's not the point. Nationalism is a building block for globalization. Each country for itself, and that's how we build the world, and that's how we become a better human race. And that's the reason why after 1700s, when the nationalism movement started, the world has become an immensely better place than it was before that. The industrial revolution happened because of that, and various other revolutions became because of that, because we wanted the people in our surrounding to have a better life. And it's a dream that one day the people in our surrounding becomes the world. But before that, till that happens, my country is my surrounding, and I want the betterment of my country, and that's what nationalism is for me. And it is helping the world become a better place.
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to conclude by two things only. I have two quotes to say only. I don't have any long story. First of all, if here globalization is better for India, if better for nation, if better for us, then what's wrong with it? And this is the time, it's 21st century. We need to globalize actually. It is the time we need to separate our relations with other countries, and we need to grow together. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you everyone. So I would like to go forward. First of all, me as a person, I'm not against globalization. What the topic says is nationalism beneficial in context of globalization? And I believe in that. I think that if you need to start something, you can definitely learn from someone, but you need to implement those roots in your own country. You need to bring the technology in your own country. Simply going to other places and going for easier option isn't what we are trying to promote. We need to start somewhere, and that automatically becomes a binding factor in your whole subsidiary solitary in your whole viewing as nationalist. So for me, globalization is not bad. You should learn from others. As people have said that Japan, when it was hindered, it went to learn to America, and then they are self-sufficient, and they became by implementing the technology. There's no need to go, no need to do that. We can learn from other country, but we need to implement it our own and not do the easy way by hoarding everything from other countries. And that is what our path is now, which actually brings a question in our mind that no, it is not beneficial, because it can actually take out the abstract of what our country stands for. So thank you everyone, and that's it. I support nationalism in context to what globalization and other things are.
Okay, can I add to my conclusion?
Yes, you can add one point. Okay.
So I'd like to conclude. Yeah. So my conclusive closing statement is that India needs to become such a powerful country that one day it can export its own products. When we take a look, not only about India, let's not put the debate only into India, but let us look at other countries, other veto power countries who have on a globalized scale, they are the top players. Why? Because they have been self-sufficient. They have learned from other countries, and they have implemented all of these things. They have promoted their products. They have learned to trust their own process. So not even as an individual, but even if we look at the government or however our policies are supported, we really also need to ensure that we play a stronger game again. And then one more very important thing is that once you submit to the powers of another country and then depend totally on them, today it will be just one thing, tomorrow it will be a lot of things, and then at one point you become so dependent on the other country that your country becomes so weak itself that then it does not even have a place to stand in a globalized world. So, in order to stand and make our way in a globalized world, we really need to be fiercely independent, also bringing in the knowledge of other countries and
yes,
globalized.
Ameesha.
Yeah.
Actually, we are lagging of time, so I guess we have to end the debate now.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you.
It was a
Thank you
wonderful
so much.
session for us too. The
It was
topics
awesome.
have been really thought-provoking, and we've shared so much. I know we were for and against, but definitely हमने कुछ thoughts सुने दिए, उन्होंने कुछ thoughts हमें दिए that we will think upon and try and become better Indians and try and become better citizens of the world as well.
Yeah,
If
definitely.
you are live on YouTube, I would also say good things.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Neelambuj. We can't wait for that.
Really fun time.
Yeah. So Footprints
Yeah, it was
organizing
fun.
this on a even when we are sitting at homes and tackling COVID is something great.
Amazing
So I think
initiative.
that's why it actually broadened our mind. So yeah, kudos to Footprint team.
Thank
I
you
think
so much.
everyone would
you.
agree. Yeah.
Good job,
Okay. Thank you
everyone.
guys.
That's
Thank
Thank
you.
it.
you.
Thank you. See
Thank
ya.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone, for participating in our events.
So when will the results be announced?
You all can leave now.
Neelambuj is so awaiting the results.
It most probably it will
Yeah,
be
yeah. When
announced
are the
by the
results to
end
be
of
out?
month, because all the events.
Sure.
Sorry.
Sure.
By
Okay.
the end of the month.
Okay.
No. By the end of the event.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because like
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, understandable. Sure, we can wait. Thank you all.
Since you are on you are live,
thank
you
you,
have to say
thank
that.
you.
All right. Thank you. Everybody.
So like